I grew up in the 1950s, north of New York City, and the major influences on my life was my family, my community, and Howdy Doody. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. Who here is familiar with Howdy Doody? Seems like a good bunch. Howdy Doody was a children's television show on Saturday morning. Very often, Saturday morning, there would be a conversation between Dad and Grandma. I'm sorry, Mom, but we're gonna be late to your place. We can't get little Billy away from the TV set until Howdy Doody is over. Now, being a grandma in the 1950s meant that you grew up in the days of the horse and buggy. You think Grandma understood? What was this Howdy Doody show? 3 main characters. First, Buffalo Bob, a debonair man in his late 30s, dressed up like a dandy cowboy. You could even say that he looked gay. But don't worry, 1950s, that's before there were any gays. Then there was Clarabelle, the clown. Clown uniform, clown makeup, clown hair. He looked a lot like Bozo the clown. If you remember Bozo, he used to say a lot of stupid things. Clarabelle, he didn't say anything. He had a bicycle horn attached to his belt, little smile painted on his face, would just run around and honk his bicycle horn. Honk, 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 honk. That was Clarabelle. But the star of the show was Howdy Doody, a marionette, a puppet made of wood controlled by a puppeteer from above. Kind of looked. That was our hero, Howdy Doody. Now, Buffalo Bob might say things like, "Hey, boys and girls, you go and you tell your moms and dads to go buy Bosco ice cream. I'm sorry, Bosco chocolate milk." That was legal back then. Advertisers were ruthless. Until those damn government regulators stepped in. But Howdy Doody would agree. "Yes, Bob. Bosco was the best chocolate milk I ever drank." Even Clarabelle would agree. Honk, 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 honk. But do you really think that we would take the advice on what chocolate milk to drink from a clown and a puppet made of wood? Yeah. My parents used to buy me this chocolate milk that I really liked, but it was this no-name store brand chocolate milk, no glamour to it whatsoever. So I just bugged the hell out of my parents until they spent twice as much on chocolate milk and bought me Bosco. And it's a good thing they did, because Bosco was just unbelievably awful. Yeah. Now, I had the honor of being in the peanut gallery of Howdy Doody. And what's the peanut gallery, you ask? It's kind of like the studio audience in a TV show, but instead of having adults, they had children, ages 4 through 9. Yeah, I know, it's hard to believe I was actually once that young. So I was in this peanut gallery, and what did I deserve that one time to warrant this honor? Well, I had parents who had a friend who was on the management of Rockefeller Center, and that's how I got on Howdy Doody. That's how anybody got on Howdy Doody. Now you could go onto YouTube and check out, I think there's about a half a dozen episodes. Not the one I was on, unfortunately, most of them are gone. But you'll notice a couple of things about the peanut gallery. The first thing is that all the children are white. No blacks, Asians, Latinos, all white. Second thing is that the children are strangely traumatized. Let me tell you my experience. Got there about 45 minutes early. Stage was in front of us. Stage hands milling about. Setting up. I didn't see Buffalo Bob. But there was Clarabelle, all dressed up in his clown uniform and clown makeup and everything. You'd think he was running around, honk, 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 honk. No. Clarabelle was off on the sideline, and he had this expression on him. I'd say it's like a hoodlum with an attitude. And he was smoking a cigarette. But what was even worse, on the floor, in the middle of the set, lying in a heap was Howdy Doody. All these stagehands milling about. Either they didn't notice or they didn't care. Until finally, one stagehand came along, picked up the great Doody, and just tossed him aside like he was a bunch of wood. Well, finally, the show started. The stage went dark. Spotlight came on, and there was Buffalo Bob, and he was magnificent. He was singing a song about how they now were showing Howdy Doody in color. Yeah, they just invented color TV then. It was the mid-1950s. Was it any good? No, I'd say you're better off drinking Bosco. But anyway, then the spotlight came on, and there was Howdy Doody. But it was a different Howdy Doody than the one I'd seen on the floor. This must have been the real Howdy Doody. What a relief. That Howdy Doody that had such disrespect, that was just a fake Howdy Doody. So Buffalo Bob and Howdy Doody and Clarabelle were all doing whatever they did. I don't remember. This was 60 years ago. But then I remember they had to break to a commercial. The stage went light. Stagehands were milling about just for a couple minutes, and then it went dark again. And again, spotlight on Buffalo Bob. Spotlight on Howdy Doody. But what the kids watching out there in TV land could not see, but what we saw from the peanut gallery is that Buffalo Bob was speaking to a different Howdy Doody. The same Howdy Doody that had been lying there on the floor so disrespectfully. Two Howdy Doodies. Of course the children are going to be traumatized. Well, in my older and in some ways wiser years, I think I've come to the conclusion that back then, the powers that be that ran the TV networks, they understood that there were ways that you could advertise to parents through the children. But they could not understand the awe and the reverence that we held for our TV heroes, even the wooden puppet, Mr. Toastmaster.